Today we are going to learn a very interesting poem, The Road Not Taken by Robert Frost. Before we go into the poem, let's take a look at the poet, Robert Frost. Robert Frost was an American poet, but his poems were first published in England, not in America at first. He studied in Harvard University and Dartmouth College, but he didn't complete a degree. Still, he became so famous and respected that he received 40 honorary degrees and 4 big poetry awards called Pulitzer Prizes. His poems often talk about rural life, that means life in the countryside, close to nature, farms, and forests. He went to England for some time, where he published 2 books of poems. He came back to America before the First World War started. Frost also worked as a teacher. He taught in schools and colleges for 40 years and helped in creating good writing programs for students. Now, let me give you an overview of the poem. This well known poem is about making choices and the choices that shape us. In the poem, the road symbolizes our life. The poet says that the path that we don't choose in our life is the road not taken. He describes his feelings about the choice that he had left in the past. The path which we have chosen decides our future, our destination. The important message that the poet wants to give is that the choice that we make has an impact on our future, and if we make a wrong choice, we regret it but cannot go back on it. So, we must be wise while making choices. Now, let's go a little deeper into the poem. Stanza 1. Two roads diverge in a yellow wood, and sorry I could not travel both, and be one traveller. Long I stood, and looked down one as far as I could to where it bent in the undergrowth. In the first stanza, the speaker or the poet comes to a forest where the path splits into 2 roads. The forest is yellow. The yellow shows that it is the season of autumn. So it suggests that it is the autumn season. The speaker here feels sorry because he can't travel both the roads as he's only one person, so he must choose just one. That's why he is feeling sorry. And in the first stanza, we can see that the poet seems to be confused about which road to take because he is confused which road will have more potential or more possibilities, and that is why he is not able to make a decision. He is in a dilemma. So he stands there for a long time, thinking and looking at one road as far as he can see until it curves into bushes. Now let's take a look at the second stanza. Dan took the other just as fair, and having perhaps the better claim, because it was grassy and wanted wear. Though as for that the passing there had warned them really about the same. In the second stanza, we can see that the speaker takes the other road which looked just as good. He chooses the second road. The boy took the other road because he thought it was more challenging to travel on it. Why does he think it would be more challenging to travel on it? Because it has more grass. It looked like fewer people had walked on it because there was more grass on the road. But then he discovered that as he go along the way, he discovered that the second one was almost equally used as the first one. This is what it means. This is what the poet says in the second stanza. Now let's take a look at the third stanza. And both that morning equally lay in leaves no step had trodden black. Oh, I kept the first for another day, yet knowing how way leads on to way, I doubted if I should ever come back. In the third stanza, the speaker recalls that both roads were covered with fresh leaves that no one had stepped on. The poet tells himself he would take the road which he didn't took another time. The poet chose the second road over the first, thinking he would come to it some other day. Yet he was very doubtful that he would ever be able to come back to it someday, because deep down he knows one path leads to another and he may never get the chance to return. Now let's take a look at the fourth stanza and the last stanza. I shall be telling this with a sigh, somewhere ages and ages hence, two roads diverged in a wood, and I took the one less travelled by, and that has made all the difference. In the last stanza, the speaker imagines himself in the future telling this story with a sigh, maybe happy, maybe a little sad. The poet's decision, we do not know if he was happy or sad, because there is no clear statement if he made a fortune or if he regretted his decision. He knows that choices are important, and once we make them, we can't go back. So the poet says that he will imagine himself in the future telling this story with a sigh, maybe happy, maybe a little sad. He will say that he came to a forest with two roads. He chose the other one that fewer people took, and that choice changed his life completely. So he's just thinking deeply about how that one choice changed his life. The theme of this poem is choices and uncertainties make life interesting. Now, before we wind up, let me give you a brief summary about the poem. The Road Not Taken is a narrative poem that tells the story of a person walking through a forest in autumn. As the traveler walks, they came across a fork in the path. There are two roads that go in different directions. The traveler pauses, trying to decide which road to take. Both roads seems equally worn, though one appears slightly less traveled. The speaker chooses that road even though they know they probably won't get a chance to come back and try the other one. The poem is more than just a description of a walk in the woods. It's really about life choices. The two roads symbolizes two different paths or decision in life. Often we have to choose between options, and once we choose, we usually can't go back. The speaker imagines that one day in the future they look back and say that choosing that road, the one less traveled by, make a big decision in their life. Life is also full of moments when we must choose, even when the outcomes are uncertain. The traveler doesn't know where either road leads, but that's just like real life. We don't always know how our life choices will turn out. And even though both roads look almost the same, the speaker acts as if one they took was more unique or daring. This might suggest that people like to believe their choices are bold or special, even if they weren't all that different. It's also possible that the speaker feels a little unsure, maybe even regrets not being able to try both. This poem leaves us with a sense of reflection. It encourages readers to think about how choices shape our lives and how we remember or explain them later. The last line, I took the one less traveled by, and that has made all the difference, can be read in different ways. Was it a good difference? A bad one? The poem doesn't say, it leaves that up to us to decide.